All right, I was trying to figure out what I wanted to say, and I actually did figure out something. So check this out. Like, I know I've been saying I'm gonna give you guys an EP, and it is not because I want to write music. It is simply because I have stories, and I feel like they're just way too boring when you read it in the written format, and you don't hear me literally singing about the shit that was really happened. And I was trying to figure out a good way to like start this so that it would make some sense to the rest of you guys. But like the only way that I feel like it makes some sense is for me to start by like telling you how I didn't have words to explain what I was going through. Like sometimes some shit happens to you and it's just like so traumatic that there are no words. And like that is the shit that like I personally have gone through. It's not like funny and it's not cute and it's like not something that I would want. I wouldn't like wish this on anybody else. Like it's just traumatic. Like traumatic is the only way to explain it, and it's awful because like I really had to go through that like really traumatic shit. And like how do you actually talk about that in words? What are you like, the crippling pain of the trauma of adulting stopped me from communicating not only with my fucking journal and my therapist, but really any person in life. I felt like I could no longer communicate with other humans. I had like lost touch with humanity. Like, how do you put that shit into words? Some trauma is like way too deep to start to like sing songs. Sometimes you have a fucking song. There's not really like lyrics for that, you know? Like I like to get inspired by like hearing other people's lyrics. I'm like, oh, this cool thing happened and this person has inspired me, but it's like shit, bro. Like sometimes something just happens and you're like, this has been bullshit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like this is like really wore me down and like I don't want to experience this anymore. This was not good for me. And there's not really words for that. Like I mean, what would the first song sound like? It's kind of like dun, 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 dun. I didn't have words. I didn't have words. I couldn't communicate the shit that I was going through. It was so bad. It was so bad. I mean, come on. Like, y'all don't want to hear that. But that's how I felt, okay? It was like, I don't know, if there's some meme of someone just like screaming out into the void. You just like go outside and just scream. It's just like, ah! That's what the song would be. There's not words for that. It's just screaming into the void. That is a real experience, and there's not a word for it. There isn't a word in the dictionary. It's like way past rage or anger. It's something else. Okay? It's like, yeah, it's like way past rage and anger. Maybe there could be a song called that. Past rage and anger. It's in some new mental space where you're like trying to process feelings that you have, but the words won't come to you to process those feelings. So instead, you just fucking scream. And sometimes you've screamed so much, you can't scream anymore. Like, this has happened to me, but I don't think a lot of you have been through like the emotional turmoil that I've been through. So sometimes you scream so much, you lose your voice, and you have been so depressed that maybe you haven't eaten for a month and you haven't gotten out of bed for a month. Yeah, that's real. So then your jaws, they start to sink in like this. You literally look like a continental Ethiopian suffering from famine. Your neck starts to like shrivel in and the bone, all the veins start to pop out here. Like people were like looking at me like I was a literal Skeletor. They were like, I don't know what's wrong with this bitch. It was all I had was like blood and bones. That's all I had. I was just like walking. I wasn't talking anymore. People would say things to me. I would just stare at them blankly. I'd be like, just like, it's like very, it's like not a healthy place to be. That was like so far from health. Maybe you can call it unhealth. mentally unhealthy. Give me what it's called. I need to stop. This is not.